Right, good morning and welcome back to another episode of Mini Daily. Now, yesterday's episode, we wrapped up the prep work to repair the inside of the quarter panel and the wheelarch and stuff. That video was a bit random. The reason being is when I went to edit the bits that I had over 2.5 hours of footage that I had to try and compress down. So in today's video, what we're going to do is we are going to weld in the repair section on the wheelarch, and we are going to make and weld in the inner side of the quarter panel, the little triangle piece that's missing. So we get all that cut, prepped, and get a heat gun on it and get some weld-through primer on it and get that buttoned up, and also maybe that little hole in the sill. So come on, we'll take us in. Alright, so the sections that I'm on about are this one here. Hoping my head isn't in the way there. This one here, so we need to get a template of that, and we need to make up this section here and get this welded in as well. And of course, as you can see then behind here, we need to get this done as well. Get all this all prepped, a bit of curist on this, and get it all welded in, and we can call it there, and then I can get ready for prepping the likes of this for the quarter panel going in, which I'll do off camera. Right, so we're gonna just get our templates here for the two of these. Now there's still a small bit of the sill left there, so we'll knock that off while we're at it. Yeah, here's your template. Now, as you can see, perfectly good steel here, so I'll just drop it down onto that. Now, get all that cleaned back, the old flat disc, and see how we're looking. Yeah. There we go. Now, as you will notice, there's a fold on that, so what we'll do is we'll slap it up, we'll mark it either side, and we'll stick it in the vise, and we'll give it a little bit of a fold. So I'm hoping to get a panel folder soon, so it'll make my life 10 times easier when it comes to stuff like this. Now we need to figure out which way this fits. Go that way. Now, as you can see there, we have the correct shape. Now, we just have to make this a little bit smaller, because I always cut a little bit bigger, that way that you have room for error, room for comfort. So, it has to be lopped off it here. Right, let's tidy it up a little bit better. Let's get the heat going out in this bad boy. And get some paint on it. Now, it's that time of the year again. Everything's cold. You should just get a bit of heat into this. Yes, that's plastic, don't start shouting at me. I'm just getting a little bit of heat into it, just so the paint will stick to it. Now, we leave that crack off for 10 minutes. I'll bring in the welder, get it set up and get you... Right, I've had a lot of questions about my welder and stuff like that. So this is a 3-in-1 welder. It does MIG, TIG and arc welding. So we have our bottle of gas here. So basically what you do is you just twist that. You can see how much gas and stuff you have. The back of it, then switch on the back. Away you go. You have your volts, you have your amperage hour, or your amps, and then you have your wire feed speed. So up around here, you're looking between 16 and 17 volts for welding what we're welding here, which is car bodies. And I'm running that with 0.8 wire. Now I haven't tried 0.6. Reason being is 0.8 works fine. You need to find yourself a good earth. And then we are just about ready to get this panel in. It's still over there drying. So we'll get it on and see how we're looking. Right, the welds look crap, they're very high and stuff like that. But as I said, an MPI is an absolute pain to weld. So I'll probably skip me doing the first pass of that, and we'll get our ground back and we'll go for round 2. In fairness, that doesn't look too bad. There's a little bit missed just here. So we'll just go over with the old welder again. I'm quite happy with that. That's not going to be seen. There's a little bit of a hole. Sometimes you can't see with the mask on. Right, we'll call it there. For that, that's fine. I said no one's ever going to see that. There, I'll watch colours. Like that's going absolutely nowhere. What I'll do is I'll get the rest of the crap off there and just throw a little bit of cure still there, and we will throw some primer on it then, and get a bit of body colour on it, and we can call that done. We can move on to here. In the meantime, while we wait for the cure to go off and start getting these 2 panels mopped up, and then we're nearly ready for this to go on. So I'm looking forward to that bit. Right, so here we have our other panel in there now. So it's just this and this left to repair. and then we're ready for quarter panel. And quarter panel will not be going on in this episode, it'll be going on in the next one, because there's 10 times the amount of work that needs to be done to get the quarter panel on than there is to get these 3 little bits done. So hopefully this welds okay, because the metal is very thin, but I shall give it a go and see. Right, just taking his back in there. As you can see, that's in. Again, I had problems with blowing back. Sometimes, if you look at the likes of that weld looks poor, but there is good heat going across it, and once you hit it with a grinder, it'll flatten itself back. So don't go beating yourselves up over your welds. Mine don't look pretty, they work. So what we're going to do here is next is we are going to tackle this. So I'm not sure how I'm going to do it. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to oversize it across, and then when I let the quarter panel in, I'll cut it back flush. Seems like the most sensible thing to do, and generally I'm not sensible, so it probably isn't. So we'll get this prepped and ready for some new steel. So I'll kind of show what I'm going to do here and try and keep it short. So we'll see how it goes. Oh, we'll have you in. Right, so as I said, I want to oversize this. Right, so when you're cutting this, cut to this side, not on it, because if you cut on it, it's going to be too short. So if you cut that side, that's butted up against that. And always leave a little bit of excess, just to help things along. Now, I think I'm going to come out to about here. With it, same down here. So what you're going to notice is that's curved. So I'm going to try and replicate that now. That's the scissors, which seem to have vanished. So there we have it. As you can see, there is a curve on it, so hopefully I'll be able to cut it right. I'll bring this back in when I have it. Right, I have you off the tripod here for a minute. I just said I'd bring you in here. I'm just about to cut this section out here, and I noticed as soon as I went to hit it with the grinder that it just started sliding all over the place. So another top tip for you is, if you have your masking tape laid down like that, is just grab whatever rattle can you can find and just literally go like that. Doesn't have to look pretty or anything like that. This is an old can and it's after jamming. Great, thanks Bob Marley. Should have enough on it anyway. So if you peel that back off, you can see there that you have where to cut. So hopefully that top tip works for you. Right, just wait for the ringing in the ears to stop. There is the panel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out which way it goes, which is it's that way. So I'm going to just get some primer on the back side of this and we'll be back. Right, we're back in and there's our panel, which will sit roughly there. So what we need to do is get a fold on it, and the easiest way to do that is with our hands. Now, what I'm going to do there is, you can see that there's a bit left at the back, but I'm going to use that as sort of a heat sink, because butt welding panels like this, you kind of run into problems with heat. So if we would say tack it here, the heat will go through what's left there, and then when I'm finished I'll just cut the back side of it and no one will be any of the wiser. So we'll just get a tack into place there. That's not going to catch because it's burning the hands off me. So we'll go again. Now, another top tip I have for you as well is, if you are welding, stop a half an hour before you have to leave the workshop. It just gives whatever you're welding adequate time to cool down. Minimises the risk of fires and stuff like that in the workshop. Just trying to test my patience now. It's always the same. You can do it 1,000 times properly, but the first time there's a camera on you, you're going to mess up. Yeah, we'll go again. Slot your panel up. Get it roughly where you want it. Now, there's a little bit of stick out when I was doing that there. It was just to get a tack in on it. Yeah, I'll bring us back in when I have all this welded in. Right, you can see that's still steaming there. As I said, the welds look piss poor, but there's good penetration in them. So that's that repaired. And as I said, I'll cut this edge back when I have the panel in, and the only thing that's left to do is just dress that back, and a bit of primer or weld-through primer on all of that. Get that dressed back as well, and a bit of cure rust on the bottom. So I think we'll leave it there. Right, what did you all think of today's video? I'm extremely happy with how it came out. As I said just there a second ago, everything needs to be dressed back and painted and stuff like that. That's the boring stuff you don't want to see on camera. But I'm over the moon. It's another step closer to fitting the old quarter panel. Still a little bit of dressing back and stuff like that, and cutting in the panel and stuff. But hopefully the next time on this, we will be painting the inside of the quarter panel, and we'll be equipping the quarter panel back on. Off camera, I'm just going to do the repair that I did on the sill, the inner sill this side. I'm going to replicate that side. There's no point in you seeing that. You've already seen me doing it one side. So the next video I will be doing, hopefully this week, we'll be back on the Morris, and we are going to button up that whole back wheel arch section, get it done, get it painted, get the whole lot looking pucker, and move on then to the front. So the Morris is going a hell of a lot slower than I thought. I thought it'd be a hell of a lot further along with it, but everyone knows that family and stuff like that gets in the way. Well, not actually gets in the way, but you know what I mean. Please, if you enjoyed the video, just hit the subscribe button. It takes 2 seconds. Over half my viewers are not subscribed. Just takes a couple of seconds. Please remember to like it, share it amongst your friends, and I'll catch you in the next one.